Well, good morning, everybody. It's the 2nd of July. I'm kind of in a rush. I washed my hair, didn't do anything, because I have to go catch a train going to Baranovici this morning. This is, what day is it? Sunday. Nobody around. I love Sundays. But tomorrow is Independence Day, the 3rd of July. Independence Day in Belarus. Very strange. Somebody else has an Independence Day on the 4th of July. I heard, I can't remember. Oh gosh, look at this, a cat. Oh, too bad you can't see it. Cat. Oh, I know this cat. This is my friend. I don't know if he can recognize me, but he looks like he's hunting for birds. Haven't seen him for some days. Or her. It's a her. Too bad I don't have any food. Anyway, I'll see if I can introduce you. He said will come to me when I give it my call here. Hey, come on. Hey, my friend. Hey. What are you doing? You're looking for birds? Do you remember me? Hey, do you remember me? You remember me, see? Interesting, huh? You remember me. I don't have any food, sorry. Oh, you don't remember me, huh? Probably the t-shirt, kind of bright. Do you remember me? You're a long way from where you normally hang out, huh? Looking for birds. This cat has, I believe, 2 other sisters, and they look nearly identical. Maybe that's not even the cat, because they look very similar. I'll have to start looking for markings and find out which one is which. Anyway, I have one that climbs in my lap and it's all over me. Maybe would take it in even. Maybe that might even happen. But anyway, you want to get to the news here. Not talk about Independence Days and that sort of stuff. But yeah, some of that news, it kind of surprised me, because this news about Wagner is, of course, now moving to Belarus, and I was thinking that Prigozhin's going to go there, and maybe some of his buddies, closest Wagner buddies, are going to go with him. But it's apparently, quite a large force. It's going there. So this guy that pretends to be, well, he says he's in the CIA. This young guy, who knows? He might have some information. I think he was just guessing before, and he might have this might just be a lucky guess for him. But he's saying that they're going to attack Ukraine, but it's nowhere near the border of Ukraine. As a matter of fact, it's not that far from Minsk. As a matter of fact, it's not that far from where I'm at right now in Minsk. So I want to go there, but I don't even get to make all my own decisions, because when you live with somebody else and they start getting, you don't want to have a terrible life, always doing things one way, but I also don't want to be like a 5-year-old child. Well, you know how that is. So, but apparently their task is supposed to be enhancing the training of the Belarusian security forces. And one of their duty stations is supposed to be this, well, there's different spellings. There's one with an A and there's one with an O. Osaprovici. And like I say, that's south and a little bit east of Minsk. So that's not anywhere near the Ukrainian border, quite a ways away. And then I read some article, as a matter of fact, that's how I got that name of the place that they're going. And they said it's right near the Polish border, which is not anywhere true either. It's actually much closer to Russia than it is to anything else. Maybe they're going to attack Russia. Maybe it's going to be a coup d'etat. So let's just forget about that kind of weird talk. And anyway, that's just one station. They're supposed to have 3 stations. This one looks like it's the biggest one. Looks like at one point in time, before the military operation, special military operation, they had housed in a lot of tents a lot of Russians. But I'll tell you what, if it's a permanent station for any troops, Wagner, they're not going to want to sit in tents their whole time. Permanent soldiers in any area, they don't sit in tents. they're going to be structures. So nobody wants this miserable life like that, especially when they're well paid. And these are well paid military people. Think you're going to live in a tent? So if there are tents there, and that's what they said, at least from the satellite photo. The satellite photo, by the way, comes from Ukraine. It's a Ukrainian satellite photo. And tents, I suppose they're tents. I didn't look close enough. So you'll find out. But the USA is now, they're now recruiting Kurds. The USA, I'll tell you what's going on here. They're recruiting into the CIA from, I don't want to talk too loud. Young people, they maybe understand English, and I don't want people to start thinking I'm some kind of a, this guy's very interested. But the CIA is really, really going after recruiting Russians in Russia. So, obviously. And but now they're recruiting Kurds in Syria. So they're using that base, to filter, to get Kurdish people to go fight in Ukraine, because the population of Ukraine is obviously very badly decimated. From all the, grabbing them on the street, throwing them into vans, and as you've seen in the photo, in the videos, they go and they grab them and they stick them into vans, put a uniform on them, maybe give them at gunpoint some training. They show them which end of the rifle to point at the enemy and what little thingy bobber to pull, and then off you go. And of course, what I've been finding out is sure, they're doing this. They're taking people off the street with no training and all, but then they had other people. They were training in Great Britain and the United States or wherever, and these are the people getting the special training, and these are the ones that are holding back. And they are, when they said, oh, they're just probing, and in a sense, they are just probing. So these are the ones that are trained in Britain and all that. They're the more specifically trained people. And I don't know about equipment, because it looks like they've lost a lot of equipment, and like they're holding back the Challenger tanks or something in Great Britain, asked them to do that, and mostly because it would be embarrassing for them to watch all the Challenger tanks burn. And we're always finding out too that there's a much larger number of this equipment than what they're saying. So when you hear about how many Leopard tanks are there, and they're finding out that even more Leopard tanks have actually been sent. Well, there's another cat over there. I don't know if I'm going to get close. Very nice cat. It's like almost black, but it's not black. I hope I can get close enough for you to see it. Hey, you want to be on camera? It's running. Oh, I have to show it. Where are you? Well, it doesn't want to be a star. Yeah, so anyway, as I said, they're recruiting. They're recruiting all over the place. So in other words, more escalation, no brakes. No brakes. No off-ramp. No reverse gear. Turn up the speed on the escalation escalator. And I said, like in my last video, they're trying to get these programs where, this training like on F-16s, and they're moving it up by years, by 2 years. So they're actually digging in, obviously, because a lot of these programs are supposed to be complete in certain years, such as like 2027. So in other words, the USA is purposefully wanting and trying and doing everything possible to draw out this conflict in Ukraine for as long as possible. And of course, the name of the game is the escalation. And they're acting like, oh no, we are not going to do that because that might cause a conflict with Russia. But obviously, it's the boiling frogs technique to slowly turn up the heat, and then Russia may not notice that they're getting themselves boiled to death. But Vladimir Putin is not a dummy, neither is Lukashenko. So I wonder who's the one that's really getting boiled to death. I wonder whose economies are imploding right now, you know? And then on the other hand, you know, making everybody woke, and in California, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it's like a law, and it was in, I believe in secondary education, you know, in university education, for everybody to be trained in drag. I mean, I don't know, to be trained how to do drag, or what drag is all about, or something like that. In other words, dressing like a man dressing as a woman or whatever. And now, I guess they passed some kind of a law that it's K through 12. In other words, kindergarten through 12th grade, and you have to have certain amount of exposure in classes to drag. I feel uncomfortable talking about this because it's some kind of a, I don't know, I've never heard of a subject like this. And I'm sure most of you never have either, unless you're from California or something. But anyway, there was somebody, and this is really hairy stuff, there was somebody in, I think it was, I'm not sure if they're from San Francisco, but anyway, somebody was against this, and then they were taking these, maybe the school administration to court and saying, you know, against this mandatory drag training. And yeah, and I believe they lost. And this was was it the Ninth Circuit District Court? It was a federal court, and I guess they sit in San Francisco, and they lost. And so they were appealing, you know, because, you know what, San Francisco, you know, there's a Nancy Pelosi and all that kind of stuff, you know, say no more, say no more. But, so this was in San Francisco, and then they appealed, and it was the next level was supposed to be the Supreme Court. And somebody from Antifa assassinated this person. So they snuffed them out. They snuffed them out. The main person who was actually bringing this to court. At least that's what I've heard. Matter of fact, I heard that from a very reliable source. And the person, very reliable, Simon Black, Sovereign Man. So, and yeah, Sovereign Man. He was in military intelligence. He went to West Point, officer training, and he's self-made. I don't know, he might be a billionaire by now. Lots of businesses, very savvy person. So that's where I heard it. That was my source. So, and of course you can't do anything these days, at least right now, what's going on, unless you talk about France. And France, I've got some connections in France. As a matter of fact, right in Paris. As a matter of fact, right in downtown Paris. And I haven't heard that much from them, and it's kind of a, I don't know, maybe they don't want to talk about it, and I don't try to push the issue. Gosh, more cats. So what is this cat day here? Let's see if I can get close to those cats over there. You know, a lot of time I don't see cats, maybe because it's Sunday. I like coming out on Sundays, and they like coming out on Sundays. Oh, one's a very young black cat, I think. Let's see if I can get close. I hate for me to be talking about it and you guys not be able to see. So let's keep going. Let me get over here and I'll talk more about France afterwards, but we have to show the kitties. What you guys doing? You're having a meeting out here. You guys having a meeting? You guys having a meeting? Let me go over here. Don't be running away. You guys okay? Oh, you got a bad eye, huh? What happened? Fighting. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. You okay? Oh boy, you lost an eye? Oh, poor guy. Poor girl, whatever. I had a cat just like you. Very pretty cat. You're a young one though, huh? Very young already. Poor kitty. It looks like this one's injured. You okay? Sorry, I don't have any food. I love cats. Well, now let's get back to the news. I wish I had some food. But when I was writing this, at that time there was like 1,000 people detained in France already from these protests. But then I was reading, was it last night? And it was like way over 2,000. I think it was like 2,500 people detained already. and Paris is on fire. I mean, the whole country, Marseille, Lyon. I mean, the country is on fire. And this, it's like, I think it was Emil Kosman talking about, they want you to think that it's because of some 19-year-old boy getting killed by the police or something like that. But sometimes this is just a spark. It's just like the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in World War I, in Sarajevo. That was just the spark. And a lot of these other things, they've been building up for quite a long time. And you all know, you see what's going on in France. You got Macron in there, and he was at an Elton John concert, apparently. I saw this on the Duran. While the country's burning, he was out partying and dancing or something like that. And these leaders of these countries, I don't know if this is an apartment, I better be quiet here. But these leaders, these leaders of these countries, I mean, these people are just disgusting. Trudeau, Macron, those two especially. It's just unbelievable. And I tell you, I don't even think these people are winning elections. I don't think, well, you're not allowed to talk about that on YouTube, I guess. Isn't it strange? Something like that, you're not allowed to talk. Oh boy, a stray cat, a garbage. Again, look at this, look at all the cats around. Hey, garbage, somebody didn't make it to the garbage can, something fell down and a cat there eating something. Don't know where it went now. Hiding. Wow, a lot of garbage here. No, but this would be some meat or something sitting down there. Yes. So, yes, France is on fire. And the French police are getting fired at. Now, this is a real clincher here. Weapons that were given to Ukraine are in Paris and all over in France and killing French policemen. Now, isn't that strange? And I think a lot of these weapons, they came from the stockpile of the police when these protesters raided police stations. And I think, what was it, 47,000 people? I don't know if they're recruited or he called up 47,000 police. Macron, I'll tell you, if you were a former police officer, present or former, you got your work cut out for you right now in France. I tell you what, even if you're retired, like I say, you're probably getting some 60-year-old guys out there. Europe, and then they have the audacity to always be talking about Russia. And then this thing with Prigozhin. Yes. Let's not talk about more into that. So, but anyway, these rifles and things, from serial numbers and whatnot, they're finding out that they were sent to Ukraine last year, and here they are. Here they are in France. Everybody knows that they're turning up. A lot of these weapons that were sent to Ukraine, they're turning up in other countries. I think Asia, they found some, and of course, obviously in the Middle East. You can't expect that. And then there's I'm not trying to do clown words or anything like that, but there was a politician from the what is it called, the AfD, the German party, Alternative for Deutschland party, and this guy's name is Markus Frohnmayer, and he is a member of the parliament, the German parliament, and he's come out and he's asked Habeck, and I think I got his words here. He says, "I want to ask Mr. Habeck, are you really our economy minister or the minister of economy of Ukraine?" Because everybody heard what Christian Lindner said the other day, that Germany has no money anymore, and yet some of these people, like Habeck and Baerbock, their dedication is to do everything for Ukraine. And like Baerbock said, she doesn't care about the German people, but everything for Ukraine. I wonder what these guys' security detail looks like, because Germans, are very controlled and calm people. It's not something like when you see these, these movies from World War II. You know, Germans are actually not like that. So that's I don't know about old Adolphus, you know, the founding father of this ideology in Ukraine. I don't know if he was like that. In truth, he was like that in his speeches, but I think he did that for effect. I have no idea. I really don't have any idea. You know, and they show in the movies like he's completely out of control. But you know, but most Germans, they're not anything like that. Nothing like that at all. They pride themselves on being controlled. So even when you get, you know, drunk or something like that. So, and then he calls this other person in the government, this other Green Party official, calls her Bandera Baerbox. I don't know if that putting the S on the end, you know, Baerbox. And in his words, this Markus Frohnmayer, he said, this government, they don't give a damn about Germany. Gosh, haven't I heard other people talking like that? It's very obvious. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of incredible truth about that. Who would sit back and just not have any concern about who blew up your chief energy source, where you know, the source of the prosperity in your country? And just kind of like, huh? And who would sit there next to some other official from some other country, high ranking head of state, saying that they're going to stop that country's, Germany's, top energy source? Oh, we'll stop it, believe me. And then just sit there and think nothing of it. Germany, I tell you. Anyway, a lot of Germans know that. Germans aren't stupid, and I tell you, if you have something that comes and sets off the people in Germany, and that might just happen, you might just see happening in Germany what's happening in France right now. And apparently things like that are happening in Germany. Apparently there's big riots in Berlin. I don't know if that's true or not. You never know. I don't believe everything I hear. But in any case, that's about all the news I have for right now. Like I said, I gotta kind of rush. I hope I'm not late right now. I gotta get to the train station and then get to Baranovici. And thanks for joining me. And I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully keep things going here. Sorry you can't enjoy this peaceful time right now. Very few people out. Only some people walking their dogs, and nice temperature, birds, a lot of kitties around. Okay. Well, once again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Look, there's my friend. Hey, I think one of your sisters. Here, come on. Some food for you. How you doing, huh? You remember me, huh? How's your eye? The sister of the other one that I put in the film. This one's my friend here. Has an eye problem. Means probably has an ear problem as well. Probably get the fleas nesting in the ears, and then a lot of time they get a bad eye because of that. So anyway, you saw my friend.